Friendships enter a new stage when you're in your 20s. Suddenly, you're no longer surrounded by people your age all the time. It's not like in college where you have classes together and literally live down the hall from each other. Now you have to be more intentional about connecting with people your own age, whether that be through sports clubs, shared interests, mutual friends, or other events.
So, this is the dumpling I made. Is it in the shot? You see it?
Yeah, I see that, sadly. I think my experience with friendships in my 20s may be fairly unique because I've actually found it easier to make friends in my 20s compared to in high school and college. I think a lot of that comes from how I've grown into myself and have a much better sense of who I am. I'm more confident and outgoing when it comes to meeting new people, but along with that, I found that people in general are so much more open to meeting new people and making new friends in their 20s compared to in high school and college. Even in college, I felt like once people found their quote-unquote group, they didn't make a ton of effort to make new friends. In your 20s, there's so many more life transitions. You may be transitioning to a new job or moving to a new city, and with that often comes an interest in meeting new people and gaining new experiences. I have to say, the lack of clickiness is so refreshing after being in such cliquey environments in high school and college. Now, groups feel a lot more fluid and less defined. You may actually have several groups. You may have your work besties, your exercise buddies, your pickleball friends, and the people you call up on a random evening to come over and binge a Netflix show together. And in my experience, even those groups tend to be so much more open to including new people. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I moved back to my hometown after college. When I first moved back, most of my social group came from high school friends that had also moved back home. I spent a lot of time with my high school cross-country friends, and we ran together and got really into pickleball. But as a lot of those friends moved to San Francisco, my social group has evolved. A lot of the people I hang out with now come from mutual friends and shared activities. Many of these friends are people I actually haven't known for that long, but somehow it already feels like I've known them for a lifetime. We really click, and I feel very lucky to know them. While there's a lot of excitement and newness when it comes to friendships in your 20s, some of the most challenging moments of friendship have also happened in my 20s. A lot of that comes from how each of us is growing, figuring out our values and what's important to us, and navigating how we want to show up as a friend, as well as how we want our friends to show up for us. I've had some disagreements, miscommunication, and conflict in friendships, and I don't know about you, but when I'm having friendship difficulties, it can cloud everything for me. It can preoccupy me so much, and all I want to do is resolve things and return everything to how it used to be. And sometimes things do get resolved. We may even grow closer because of what we went through. Other times, things don't get resolved. And sometimes we're still friends, but things never quite return to how they used to be. I'm starting to learn that shifts in friendship dynamics aren't necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily mean anyone has failed. It may just mean that two people are growing and changing in their own directions, both valuable and beautiful. As you grow, change, and figure out what's important to you, friendships are naturally going to change as well. For me, I learned a lot more about what I'm looking for in close friendships and what helps me feel cared for and more like myself. Just recently, I had a really tough experience with a friend I was very close to. Through that experience, it reinforced the idea for me that two things can be true. You can both love and care about each other a lot, and you can still do things that are very hurtful. It's hard for me to not feel as close to that friend anymore, but I've also learned a lot about friendship through that experience. Again, I've learned more about what I want in close friendships and how I want to show up in friendships myself. Sometimes it does take going through really painful experiences to learn more about what you need. I've been through so many transitions in friendships that it's actually helped me get to a more secure place with friendships. I've gotten to the point where, of course, I want friendships to last for a long time, but I also accept if things change over time. I've learned that it's just a natural part of life. I bring less fear and anxiety into my friendships, and instead I let them evolve and go where they want to go. I think some friends are meant to be in your life forever, and in those friendships, you'll have seasons of closeness and seasons of distance. Maybe you'll even have moments of conflict, but at the end of the day, those friends are always there. There are other friends that are just in your life for a period of time. During that season, they may be exactly what you were looking for and needed. They may have provided laughs and a sense of true companionship, or they may have taught you important things about yourself. Those friends are no less valuable than lifelong friends. They're just different. And oftentimes, when you look back at those shorter friendships, you remember all the good times you shared together, even if you don't see that person as much anymore. I can think of a lot of friends who were only in my life for a season, but they had such a huge impact on me. I think about my childhood best friends, many of whom I haven't talked to in ages. I think of all our late-night sleepovers, playing school in our basements, building make-believe stories with our American Girl dolls, climbing trees outside of our houses, and swinging from monkey bars. I may not see those friends anymore, but the memories I made with them and the love that I have for them are timeless. And then there are those friends who you've had for ages. I have a few friends who I've been friends with since elementary school. Shout out to Mira, Dahlia, and Kamala. It's so fun to think about the old times, like making videos on our flip cameras, taking silly pictures on photo booth, messaging on Gmail, playing badminton in backyards, and baking cookies and watching scary movies. And now we're still friends years and years later. It's pretty special to get to witness each other grow up and see all the ways that we've changed, as well as all the things that have stayed the same. I'm really lucky to be in a season of life where I feel really connected to others and surrounded by uplifting, positive people. The friends that I spend time with make me feel more like myself. When I'm with them, I feel free to be my unhinged, bubbly, goofy self, and they accept me for me. For example, I literally send them the most unhinged, unfiltered texts, and they still choose to be friends with me, which is kind of a miracle. We also support each other through the highs and lows of life. And we can always count on each other for a good yap session, matcha run, or a nice middle-of-the-day text exchange to distract us from work. It makes sense that the friends that you have in your 20s are friends that tend to truly align with you as a person. I found that people in their 20s are much more intentional about spending time with those that they genuinely enjoy being around. We're no longer forced together as much by proximity like it was in high school, but rather choose to spend time together based on common values, shared interests, and just enjoying each other's company. It's like a chosen family. My chosen family is made up of many friends I've had for years and also many new friends. My friends are a huge part of what brings me joy, and I feel so lucky to have them in my life. They help me be more brave and fearless in life because I know they'll always be cheering me on or providing a shoulder to cry on after it all. They also help me get out and try new things. They inspire me and push me to grow, and they're also just so lovely and fun to be around. They're genuinely kind-hearted, good human beings. To my friends who are watching, I love you and thank you for being in my life. I hope you enjoyed listening to some of my musings about friendships in your 20s. Being in your 20s is an exciting, confusing time to say the least, and I think friends are a huge part of what helps us stay sane and grounded through it all. I'd love to hear more about what your experience has been like with friendships in your 20s. Feel free to share in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.